about nurturing tech talent. What does it strike close to you?
So first of all, thank you for inviting me here. I must say, up until a year ago, I was a bit ignorant to educating in tech.
Yes.
I'm only 1 year old at Moringa School, and actually I fell into Moringa School by accident.
That's the story. There's a story there.
There's a story there, yeah. But you know, a lot has happened in a year, and I strongly believe that I found my passion. Because I believe that this is what is going to drive the future of our country, and I'm proud that we're contributing to developing that talent that will take not only our country but our continent to the next level. So it's something very, very personal for me.
Yes.
And yeah, really looking forward to the conversation today.
Pretty much. Let's go back to that accident. Not more people will say, well, I'm in tech as from a year ago, and now I'm heading quite an integral institution in tech, Moringa School. Could you tell us, how did you end up in tech and the tech space in general?
Yeah, so I actually started my career in corporate, like many people do. My background is in telecoms. I qualified as an engineer,
yes.
But then I went into finance, so I did a career in chartered accountancy, and I was working outside Kenya, in UK, Europe, for a company called Orange. And then when Orange came into Kenya, about 12 years ago, I was posted here as a CFO, and that's when mobile money was just starting. So I launched Orange Money in partnership with Equity Bank. So that's really what got me into innovation. And then having spent 5 years with Orange here in corporate, that was the end of my corporate life, and I got into the world of startups. So I've done 2 startups before Moringa. So Moringa is actually my 3rd startup. My previous 2 startups were doing the telecom masts, and the second one was in renewable energy, where we're doing pay-as-you-go solar systems for rural homes, and that's what got me into social impact. So having grown those 2 startups, I was looking for my next venture.
Yes.
And Moringa School came knocking because they needed somebody to take us to the next level. So here I am.
And I'm looking at this particular space that you find yourself in, which is essentially going to be social impact. You're now working directly with people around technology. Let's talk about Moringa then. What is your approach, especially when it comes to enabling tech talent among young businesses and youth in the country? What is this unique approach that Moringa School has?
Yeah. So first of all, let me clarify this, because some people get confused. We don't sell vegetables.
Yes.
Moringa, as you may know, it's now a superfood.
Yeah,
it's very good for your nutrition. And what we say is, we at Moringa School, we supercharge the Kenyan youth.
That's it.
So that's what we do.
Yes.
And our model is actually very unique. We were set up about 6 years ago when a young American lady called Audrey Cheng, she came to this part of the world, and she saw a gap, she saw an opportunity to provide tech training. Now, tech has been around for many years. There are universities where you can go and do degrees in computer science. But the world has changed, and it's changing very fast, especially post-COVID. So
yes.
in this day and age, if you want to pursue a career in tech, you don't necessarily need to have gone to university. So what we do is we provide a very cost-effective, focused teaching model where you can become a software developer within as little as 5 months. So if you are coming out of high school and you want to pursue a career in tech, like many people do, you don't need to spend 3-4 years at university, spend lots of money on tuition fees, on living expenses, on accommodation. You can just come to a place like Moringa School and do a boot camp on coding or data science with us. And in 5 months, we can train you to be a software developer or data scientist, and we can also help you find a job. Mm-hmm. So that's sort of your fast track career to working in tech.
Yes, but when you say somebody can actually learn coding and lessons in data science within 5 months, someone's going to ask you again, what is the special approach that you have at Moringa School then that's going to make me ready in 5 months that a university or a college somewhere is not going to promise? That's got to learn for years and years for you to get ready.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. So definitely we have a unique model. We're set up as a vocational training institute, so we're a TVET.
Yes.
And ideally we're supposed to take students coming from high school who don't want to go to university. Ironically, half our intake are actually university graduates, many with degrees in computer science, who can't get jobs, so they come to Moringa to get the training. So our training is number one, it's very practical, it's very hands-on, it's very market aligned, and you don't need to have done any coding before. We teach you from scratch. Obviously, you need to have the basic credentials. So you need to have cleared high school, ideally C grade and above. Maths and English is obviously a prerequisite. And you just need to have a logical mind. Coding is not rocket science. Coding is like Swahili or English. It's any language that we teach you. So what we've done since last year is we've partnered with the leading boot camp in the US. They're called Flatiron School.
Yes.
So they do similar boot camps all over the US. If a student wants to enroll with their school in, say, New York, they'll pay something like $17,000 for a 5-month boot camp.
Yes.
Whereas we've got exactly the same curriculum, the content, teaching model, and we struck a deal where you can do it at a very much affordable price here in Kenya or for that matter in Africa.
Yes.
So there are also many other online courses which are self-paced. Coding is still fairly complex, so you need that teacher support. You need that sort of expertise to guide you along the way. So at Moringa, we've struck the right balance. So we don't leave the student to do things on their own. We really guide them. We have guided lectures. So in fact, before COVID, we had a campus model. We have a campus on Gong Road. We got another one in Westlands. But during COVID, we really invested a lot in tech. So now more than 70% of our students are studying online, but it's using live learning. So every day there is a structured lesson plan. The students have to register. They dial into Zoom at 8 a.m. in the morning. They're given their projects, their lesson plan for the day. So it's all very structured. We also do a lot of peer-to-peer learning, so you can learn from your colleagues. You do projects together. So yeah, we have that whole holistic concept.
Yes.
With the confidence that in 5 months you're ready to
actually
climb the career ladder.
Yeah. Pretty much. But I've got to take you back a bit, because there's a question that I got yesterday again when we floated your poster that you're going to be in the studio today, and I've got specific individuals who saying, well, they say, I went to university after 4 years. I did coding and programming. I came out. I realized that I hadn't known that much. But since they attended Moringa, they're like, wow, this space here, this introduction that I'm getting introduced to now is the one I should have actually learned. What is the disconnect? Because there's a special focus on tech and coding and technology and software engineering in this particular economy, but the institutions of higher learning in this school that are supposed to be spearheading this space are the ones, in a way, you would say, are lacking in graduating ready individuals who can actually fit into the spaces. What do you think the disconnect is?
Yeah, and look, I don't think this is an issue only here. I mean, it's globally. The world has changed very fast.
Yes.
The education models are also changing. Gone are the days where you need to just rely on theory and cramming at school.
Yes.
Things have become much more practical. It's going to become even more disruptive going forward. With things like artificial intelligence. Many people are talking about ChatGPT taking away whatever the human brain was functioned to program to do.
Yeah.
So things are changing very fast. If you look at the teaching models in university, even for computer science degrees, it's still very, very by the book, very theoretical. You study during the year, and then you sit like one exam at the end of the year. But during that time, you're not really doing hands-on practical stuff. So what we do is we have what we call a inverted classroom model, where we of course on certain key topics we give lectures, and the theory and the fundamentals is very important. But then we really focus on how do you apply all that. So when you start coding, right from day zero, you're given some real life problems to solve, and that's how you already start applying the language. And again, it's very, very similar. If you are to Simba, go and learn Spanish, for example, right? The best way to learn is actually to throw yourself in the deep end. So go and live in Barcelona, and just go in a cafe and start picking up words. So that's the concept that we teach in.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Another area that you've already spoken about then is that you almost guarantee that you're going to try as much as possible to help your graduates land the spaces upon which your career and your programming teaching is based upon. Is that a continuous process that you as Moringa School, whatever it is that you're doing, is that you keep on identifying the spaces in the market that your graduates could actually plug into? Is that what it is?
Absolutely. So we are very outcomes-driven organization.
Yes.
We believe in not only the teaching we do, but what outcomes does that create. And then we're very proud to say that since we started, we've trained about 5,000 students so far, and we have a average job placement rate of around 70%.
And that's high.
And yeah, I mean, if you compare that to again, students coming out of university, their job placement rate is much lower. So the way we do it is out of our 5-month training, first of all, out of the 20 weeks, 3 weeks at least we spend on teaching soft skills, which is very important in the work environment, right? So right from your CV writing skills, your interviewing skills, your communication, leadership, entrepreneurship skills, project management. So we teach that again on using real life cases, so a project-based learning. So that prepares our students to be as employable as possible. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that we have quite a substantial career services department. So we provide all the graduate support in terms of we have managers who are going and meeting companies, looking at their recruitment requirements in tech. So we have a lot of inbound queries coming in terms of vacancies.
Yes.
So we basically match make. So if somebody wants a Java developer or a front end or a back end, then we can match the skills from our graduates to what the employers want.
Pretty much.
And then this is one area that we're really innovating in. So we're not just a training organization. We position ourselves as a training plus provider, where even the graduates who are coming out of Moringa, they're still quite fresh. Employers obviously want more experienced talent. So how do we bridge that gap? Mm-hmm. So something that we're currently innovating in is doing internships as well. So we basically give a Moringa graduate an opportunity to get some work experience, to build their coding portfolios, which they can go and showcase to employers to get into jobs. So that's one whole bucket. But remember, progress is not only going to be based on getting employment. There is the whole entrepreneurial ecosystem as well, and I think we're quite blessed here in Kenya by having one of, first of all, very smart entrepreneurial population. Everybody
Yes.
has a side hustle here or there. So I think that's sort of in our DNA, in our culture. Secondly, we have the right internet infrastructure. We have good internet all across the country. We obviously have a very vibrant payments ecosystem. So there's so many new startups coming along, and that's got so much potential. We are attracting billions of dollars of investment as well. So all this is also ripe if somebody wants to start their own business in tech. So we also provide, that ability as well. So we're creating all the right foundations in terms of the technical training, the soft skills, the entrepreneurial ability, opening doors in terms of either getting jobs or getting into your business. So that's really how we're preparing the Kenyan youth to climb to the next level.
Pretty much. It's a good thing you're touching on another aspect again that I wanted to talk to you about. It's one of the questions that we got. That yes, you're running a business and you sort of feel like you need a refresher into your specific area, enabling tech in your business and developing software that's going to enable your business even perform even better. Is that an area that Moringa School is also open to, in the sense of working with the entrepreneurs then to essentially update their possibilities in tech?
Absolutely. So as much as we have a student recruitment, a B2C arm, if you like,
yes,
we also have a corporate training or a B2B business.
Yes.
So for Safaricom, Moringa School actually runs their whole digital academy. So far we've trained 500 of their employees. We've upskilled them in different fields, like in cybersecurity, cloud computing, AI, machine learning, robotics, etc. So we're already doing this for some of the big corporates, but likewise, we run master classes in terms of how to do like agile working, how to deploy better security in your company. So whether you're a SME or a corporate, we're able to provide that kind of support as well. And then lastly, we have an army of tech graduates who have the basic skills. So if you're a business who needs, like, say, a web developer or somebody to guide you in your tech,
yes,
then we can from our alumni find those kind of expertise to also support you as a business.
Pretty much. All right, let's go back a bit. You've really attracted a lot of attention, and we've seen your partnership with the Mastercard Foundation as well, in working together with youth from the needy areas within the country. What is the criteria for picking these youth from the needy areas in the country? And do you believe then that tech is the one that's going to be opening the possibilities for these youth in these needy areas?
Yes. So first of all, Moringa School, we're not a charity.
Yes.
We're a private organization. We're backed by some private equity investors. And we give value for money. So our 5-month boot camp, full time, it costs around 200,000 shillings, and that almost guarantees you that you'll get into a job. So if you look at the ROI, or the return on investment,
yes,
and we've done some extensive research here. So a student coming into Moringa School, because some of them were working before, on average they're earning sort of the minimum wage, so around 15,000 shillings a month. But the first salary after graduating from Moringa, it more than doubles to around 38,000 shillings a month. So that's what a fresh graduate is likely to be earning,
yes,
coming out of Moringa School. And then with every year of experience that our graduates get, the salary almost doubles. So typically a Moringa graduate with say 3 years of work experience, they're earning something like on average 120,000 shillings a month. And there are some people who are earning much more, especially with guys doing remote working, etc. So if you imagine spending 200,000 shillings up front, with the salary, the first salary you're earning, you can pay back that amount within sort of 6 to 9 months, which is great, because after that, then it's all your take-home pay, where you can improve your living conditions.
Yes.
But obviously, there are students out there, especially from needy areas who can't afford. So we got into a partnership with MasterCard Foundation a couple of years ago, where they gave us $10 million to fund scholarships for such a needy population. So far, we've trained around 2,000 students through that program. And depending on your financial criteria, and it's quite a cumbersome process to go through, because we have to check obviously your academic ability,
yes,
but also the financial status of the parents. So we need to check bank statements, M-Pesa statements, and all that. So in order to make sure that it's fully transparent and we're doing justice.
Yes.
So we're still running some of those programs, and for some students we don't only sponsor the tuition fees, but we can also sponsor laptops, and even for people who need to relocate to Nairobi, we can also support with living allowances.
Pretty much.
But that's something that ideally we're trying to find a way that it's self-sustainable, because charity can go only up to a certain level, and we're currently innovating on different financing mechanisms. So yeah, watch out for this space.
Pretty much. Yeah. 45 seconds. That's the only time that we have left for this conversation. I wish we continue with it. Now, 45 seconds to answer this too. Can anybody learn coding? Somebody listening to that and say, I want to get into coding. Can I learn coding today? Can I wake up today and say, I want to get into coding? And number two, Moringa School in the next 5 years, what do you see it? Give me that outlook.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So coding is supposed to be universal, but let's be clear, it's not for anyone and everyone. And any career you do, you need to have passion for it. So if you want to, for example, become a farmer or a doctor, then coding may not be for you. I mean, you need to really have that interest in tech.
Yes.
And we're making it quite equitable. So there was this stigma that coding is only for men. That's really not the case. Currently, 1/3 of our students are women. We want to grow that as well. But so for somebody who doesn't want to do hardcore coding, there are other avenues to follow as well. So data science is also something that is very much in demand. We're also doing product design courses as well. So that is kind of a nice hybrid, which is less technical, but more sort of solutions oriented as well. So there are those careers that you can pursue as well. So as far as Moringa is concerned, I think where we are currently, we've just hit the tip of the iceberg. Kenya has a big future in the digital economy, and we are the ones who are going to be enabling to train hundreds of thousands of students in tech.
Pretty much. Snehar Shan, I need to call you back. This conversation deserved 1 hour. Guess what? I'll be calling you back. Tech and tech conversations are things that you just can't get done away with in just one sitting. Guess what? I'll be calling you to our panel. So we can talk the gaps that exist within this tech space, especially at a time where we don't feel its presence in an economy that's trusting on tech enablers. Guess what? Thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Now, for those who want to get into Moringa now, you do know what to do. Just look up on them online, know what their programming is, and you did hear from the CEO just a scratch of exactly what they want to get into. Guess what? We take a short break right here on the Morning Drift. Move away from conversations on tech and nurturing tech talent to now nurturing talent in music. Magoro Kimani coming back shortly.
do women do it?
Will the real superheroes please stand up?
Welcome to the best show on all things women.
You can.
Now we have to tell you, on our show, we're not just talk. We're mothers, wives, working women, your hosts, and the list goes on.
We also know how to relax and have some fun. It's living the life.
Yes, it is.
Our guest today is, first of all, disclaimer. This guy is an amazing vocalist. We are going to cook kadengu na chapati.
Si wache mimi nipike dengu.
Last time niliingia kitchen kwa 2014. Uko serious? Kakinuka kamenuka. Ni nini?
Bro, Korea.
Ujue ni haraka. In the next 15 minutes nataka tukule food. Which one will you choose? Alex Karani? Bire?